are only 3 days away there, and the ruling party is in trouble. Indeed, many are speculating this could be the beginning of the end of Kirchnerism. More and more dissenters are emerging against President Cristina Kirchner and what some have labelled her temperamental politics. Beyond the renewal of both the lower and upper House of Parliament, this election is seen as a vote challenging the ruling party. This report by Rebecca Martin, Declan McGarvey and Julian Terrell.
This man is the Cristina Kirchner government's worst nightmare. Corruption, money laundering, abuse of power. Each Sunday night, Jorge Lanata exposes a new scandal.
At this point in the series, nobody can doubt the unbelievable level of corruption we've exposed.
The outspoken journalist is ever present on TV and radio. He's become the voice of those disillusioned with Kirchner rule and a symbol of the war between private media and Kirchner-friendly state TV.
6 out of 10 radio listeners are tuning into us. It's crazy. The government controls nearly all the media, but nobody listens to them. I think it's because people realize the government is lying.
The latest suspected lie concerns Cristina Kirchner's health. The president underwent surgery this October to remove a blood clot from her brain. Now resting for a month, she is absent from this parliamentary election campaign.
I think it's deliberate. I think Cristina's illness is serious, but they brought the surgery forward to remove her from the election campaign, to make sure she is not tainted by defeat.
For Lanata, defeat for Kirchner's party on Sunday is a certainty, and Kirchnerism is nearing its end. It's paying the price for an increasingly polarised society, split along pro- and anti-Kirchner lines.
Now, that division is not just political, it's also cultural. Families are fighting, friends no longer talk, and journalists refuse to work with one another. It's like a great chasm running through society. Recovering unity in Argentina will be really difficult.
Unity is Sergio Massa's objective. Massa is the new strongman in the opposition camp. A young, charismatic politician, he has emerged from relative obscurity to fill the void left by Cristina's failure to designate a successor. His determination to tackle the problems ignored by the government has won support.
He totally understands the reality of this country, a reality being denied at national level.
Massa's campaign has focused on rises in violent crime, a major voter concern. He appeared next to Rudolph Giuliani, former mayor of New York and famous for his zero tolerance on crime in the Big Apple.
The clear reality is people want those in power to engage in the fight against insecurity, the fight against crime, to make sure people can walk the streets safely and are able to live in peace.
A second major theme in this campaign is inflation. Officially estimated at around 10%, private analysts insist it is as high as 25 to 30% annually.
Nowadays, no one pays attention to government statistics because the disparity between what the government says inflation is and what people perceive it to be is so big. One now suspects nearly all of the government statistics. They've manipulated prices. So there is no reason to believe they won't lie about other statistics as well.
Discontent amongst the middle classes is widespread.
The middle class is most active and most exhausted. It organised the demonstrations that demanded reform, which the government ignored. And this election is now a demand for change.
A show of force organised 10 days before the election is a reminder that the lower classes' support for the president remains as strong as ever. But figures within the ruling party are beginning to distance themselves from Cristina Kirchner, even before Sunday's election result. A result which could prove a hammer blow to Victory Front rule.
That was Focus. Coming up next here on France 24, it's a sports roundup starting with the Europa League.
Olympic